Welcome back. I'm Tedward, and thanks to BMW of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, part of the McGovern Auto Group, I'm driving this 2021 BMW M235i xDrive Gran Coupe. That's Gran with no D. Yeah, I bet you didn't think you'd see this one on the channel, but we must drive it. And the more I drive it, the more I'd like to talk about it for lots of different reasons. First of all, this seems like a massive departure for BMW. The style, the layout, right? So number one, we've got this bubbly kind of roof. It's growing on me a little bit, but I'm not going to look at this and say, ooh, classic BMW lines. But that's all subjective. More importantly is that this is an all-wheel drive system, but it's front-wheel drive bias, which is not something we're used to from BMW. BMWs are rear-wheel drive cars, and when they have all-wheel drive systems, they send torque to the front of the car when they lose traction in the rear, not the other way around. But here we are in a new era. It has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that makes about 300 horsepower and will rocket this little thing to 60 miles an hour in about 4.5 seconds. Let's listen to it. Oh, see, I'm already wrong. I'm not used to this new BMW parlance. Check and see if there's any difference in sport mode. Little bit of pops and bangs. Let's take a look under the hood, because I would like to see this new power plant. Well, would you look at that? A transverse mounted 4-banger in a 2 Series. Interesting. Okay. But you know what? I can get behind these headlights. That makes a lot of sense to me. Let's get on the road and find out if it drives like a BMW or if it drives like an Audi. But before we jump in, check out the size of these brakes, man. They didn't skimp out on these calipers. Yikes. 225s up front, and it's a square setup, so we've got 225s in the rear as well. Let's just do a quick check for practicality, because some of you people actually buy cars to use them. Oh, I actually dig this. This is nice. This is really flat. You don't have to go down into a trunk, so this is kind of a clever design. I'm about that. I like that. We've got this cool little lip spoiler in the back. Let's take a seat. We've got the magma red Dakota leather. Not bad, pretty roomy. Okay, and I have some headroom because we do have the big bubble up here, so that's not so bad. And when we get up front, we'll pull this back because that'll give us some more light. All right. Got our wireless charging. Let's turn this down a bit to reduce the noise. And I did not do all those burnouts. I don't think this car can do that, but I can assure you, not me. Let's start it off in sport mode, make sure we get all the right sounds. Test out these brakes. All right. So, right off the bat, we've got a throaty sound to this 4-cylinder. Yikes. That is a little more exciting than I anticipated it would be. A little bit of understeer, but you can balance it out off throttle. You can tell that rear end is putting power down, which is nice. So my first question is basically answered. Does it handle like an Audi? No, although with only a 225 section front tire, and they're not like wild tires, it's not giving me a ton of traction, but it's easily managed and sorted out with my right foot. Yes, always nice to go 27 miles per hour while entering the highway. We're all gonna die. No traffic behind. Let's find out what this torque is like. Nice linear power delivery. I'm genuinely impressed with this power plant. This is pretty exciting because not only do we have a 4-cylinder from BMW, we don't see that often in exciting cars. You may see them in like a base X3 or something like that, but like not in an M car. So the last M car I can recall the 4-cylinder was an E30 M3 with the S14. So to have an M badge on a 4-cylinder is kind of a big deal. And I know it's not a real M car, it's an M235i, but still, we have to take it all into consideration. And you can complain all you'd like about the bubble appearance of this car, but it does have pretty good visibility. There's something to be said about that. So we got to look on the bright side, guys. Oh man, it's a little stiff. And I don't mean that in like oh, I'm uncomfortable, how dare you. I mean it in a way that like, I feel like it skips over the bumps just a little bit. Not quite as bad as the early Audi S3s. That was a big issue. They sorted that out. The rear of the Audi S3 when they first came out was so stiffly sprung that it felt like if you were mid-corner over any bumps, the rear end would just dance away from you. I wouldn't go so far as to say this feels like that, but I will say that it does feel almost unnecessarily stiff for the sake of sportiness. And if you'd like to go, you have a very cool car. Let's see, now we know what the horn sounds like. All right. Have to get an R63 someday. All right. Nice smooth power delivery. I love the way it comes up to redline. This transmission is very smooth, still punchy enough to give you the sauce, which is good. You don't want to be disconnected from the vehicle when you're in an M anything. You want to feel a little bit of a shift. You want to know that the powertrain and the drivetrain is working for you. And the steering wheel, very lovely. Coming to get familiar with this steering wheel just because they use it in just about everything. But BMW is figuring out that they need to make their touch points really solid, and this feels premium. The car needs to feel premium. It's $51,000 and it's in that entry-level M car range. It needs to make you feel like you bought an M car. It needs to make you feel special. And luckily, when you do touch this nice soft leather steering wheel, you do feel special. You feel like your money went somewhere. Let's jump onto some back roads because you know what? You're buying this car to enjoy in every situation. It's the worst yield sign ever. You can barely see what's going on behind you. I do have some complaints. The seating position is a little interesting to me because I've been driving a lot of 5 Series and 3 Series lately, and I do feel like this is higher off the floor. I'm not as low in the car as I can get in the 3 and the 5. So that's number one. Number two is the actual seat. It's not the most comfortable place to be. And it's not because it's unsupportive. I think it is relatively supportive, although these little lateral side wings could probably provide a bit more support when you put an M badge on a vehicle, but that's fine. What I noticed the most is just the actual bottom of the seat, where your bum is. It's a little hard. And that's not to say they're bad, it's just to say that if you're looking for like an ultra luxury experience in an entry-level BMW, you're probably not gonna find that here. I love the way this hits an upshift. That's pretty aggressive. And we've still got our little paddles. This is still a very BMW experience, more so than I anticipated it to be. I'm not gonna lie, when I first got in this car, I thought I was just gonna do a silent review for Winding Road Magazine, because I thought, I don't know what I'm gonna have to say about this thing. We've got an all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive biased 4-cylinder BMW with an M badge on it. I don't know. But I gotta say, the more I'm driving it, the more I'm actually enjoying the experience. And that's not to say that I forgive BMW for making a front-wheel drive bias 2 Series. No siree, I will hold my grudge about that. But the same way people are mad at the Supra for being a BMW and not a Toyota, I always say, well, look, you know, forget the badge. As a vehicle, it's great. It's a really enjoyable car. I think I have to say the same about this. Maybe it doesn't follow what I anticipate to be the successor of the 2 Series and the newest and latest and greatest from BMW, but it's still a pretty worthy car. This must be a wealthy town. They're fixing potholes? They don't fix potholes in my town. Definitely hear every bump you hit in the car. You're not going to be insulated from the world too much, but the road noise isn't bad. Again, you're in an entry-level BMW. You're not in a 7 Series, so don't expect anything like that. This little 2 Series is in a position where BMW really needs to punch above its weight because it has to compete against the Audi S3 and the Mercedes A-Class, and we're talking about like A45 AMG. And they need to be able to sell this based on what just happened. when someone goes for a test drive and they go and compare it back to back with the A-Class and the Audi S3, this really needs to be able to just jump straight out of the gate and show them what they're paying for, and that it's worthy. And with that kind of confident acceleration and traction, coupled with nice touch points where you're gonna say, ooh, I like ooh, I wanna touch that, I wanna go for a drive. Yeah, they've got a fighting chance with this one. And while the BMW purists, like myself, are not going to like the fundamentals of the car, the fact that it does have a front-wheel drive bias and all this stuff, that seems like sacrilege. It's completely outrageous to us, because unfortunately, the BMW community has just been watching the business change, and the landscape is changing dramatically. But it doesn't mean BMW still isn't giving us what we want. We still get everything we want out of the other lineup. So I'm okay with them, I'm okay with them, like that matters. But I'm okay with them coming out with cars that are a little different in philosophy, as long as they still give us the rear bias monsters that we expect. So while I don't really anticipate seeing this M235i Gran Coupe coming into the car show heavily modified and being like, yo, the BMW stuff, I also don't really anticipate seeing it at a racetrack on sticky tires. I do think this makes a lovely entry-level street car, and it still handles well. It's still balanced and poised. Although, my goodness, I would like to drive this on some stickier tires. And a 4.5 second 0 to 60 is no joke. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I had prejudged this car quite a bit, but I actually found some joy in it. So thanks to BMW Shrewsbury again for tossing me the keys to this M235i xDrive Gran Coupe. Don't forget to respect the drive. I'll see you in the next one. 30. Oh my goodness.